There's been an abundance of Star Wars video games over the years. Today, I'm going to be ranking my top 5 Star Wars video games of all time. My name is James, and I started this channel because I love playing and talking about video games. If that sounds like you, please consider hitting the like button on this video, the subscribe button on my channel, and checking out some of my other videos as well. Let's get started. Number 5 is Star Wars Republic Commando. Republic Commando originally came out in 2005 on Xbox. It is a tactical first-person shooter where you are in charge of a clone commander and you get to order around clones with different special abilities to take down different obstacles as you fight in the Clone Wars. As a Nintendo kid, I hadn't really played a lot of first-person shooters, definitely hadn't played any tactical shooters, so I really enjoyed this game. It definitely hit right with me when I first played it in college, about 10 years after it came out. What I really enjoyed about the game was that you got to order around a group of troops while also participating firsthand in that action as well. And due to the tactical nature of the game, every single combat encounter became its own little puzzle that you wanted to make sure that you were using your clones as effectively as possible, because some of them were better at certain skills than others. And those kind of things just really hit with me. That's one of the reasons that I really enjoyed this game. Number 4 is Star Wars Bounty Hunter from 2002. The third-person shooter with tons of flying and platforming. In this one, you play as Jango Fett, the most notorious bounty hunter in the galaxy, and the story takes place just at the end of episode 1, leading up to the events of episode 2. You get to see a lot of the criminal underworld and Jango's life as a bounty hunter, which is something that I always found very cool. You're introduced to a lot of cool characters like Roz and Montross, and you get to see how Jango got connected with Zam and how he got connected with, what's that guy's name? Count Dooku, and those are things that I really enjoyed about the game. I originally played it on the GameCube roughly when it came out, but I'm really not sure. This is the game that I probably replayed more than anything else as a kid. Number 3, Star Wars Jedi Fallen Order, the 2019 third-person action game. You take on the role of Cal Kestis, a teenage Jedi who survived Order 66. This game takes place about 5 years after Order 66. I played this game right when it came out. I loved it. If not for nostalgia, this would be my favorite Star Wars game. In the context of lore and world building and just adding to the Star Wars mythology, I loved the character of Cal Kestis. I found him to be very interesting. He had a little bit of mystery about him, as we don't really know how he survived for those 5 years after Order 66. There's also some intrigue around him because he had lost a lot of his Force abilities that he once had when he was training as a Jedi, so a little bit of intrigue there too. Additionally, this was my introduction to the Inquisitors, the Jedi hunters that report directly to Vader, and I thought that was really cool as well. Star Wars Jedi Fallen Order, available on everything except Switch, and I recently just got a really nice performance patch for PS5 and Series X, which I definitely recommend checking out as well. Number 2 is Star Wars Battlefront 2. The good one from 2005. Star Wars Battlefront 2 is a third-person shooter where you play as just an individual trooper on the battlefields across the Star Wars galaxy. I originally played this game, I would have been like middle school. We played it on PS2. We played this game all the time. And what I really liked about this game was getting to be just a normal trooper that you kind of had to do your part and everybody else had to do their part so that all together we could come together and win the battle. Now, a couple weeks ago when I talked about games that I replay a lot, I think I talked about this game as well. I revisit this game all the time. It plays really well on Xbox One and Xbox Series X. I pretty regularly jump in there to either play some Galactic Conquest or just do a battle here, a battle there. Definitely one that I think is worth the few dollars that it costs on the Xbox store. Number 1 is Star Wars Galactic Battlegrounds Saga. This one is a Star Wars real-time strategy game. And for a long time, I would describe this game as a reskinned Age of Empires 2, or a Age of Empires 2 reskinned with like a Star Wars skin, because that's what I thought it was. And because this game didn't really get a lot of recognition, I wasn't even sure if this was actually an official game for a long time. I actually, if somebody had told me that this was just a mod for Age of Empires 2 that made everything Star Wars, I probably would have believed it. Just recently, about 2 weeks ago, I learned that this game actually licensed the Age of Empires engine and was created to be a Star Wars game from the ground up. So, because it's in that engine, it has a lot of similarities to Age of Empires and Age of Empires 2, but there's a lot of stuff it does really well. All of the units and buildings, you can look at them and instantly know what faction they belong to. There's lots of cool missions and objectives that tie into the different movies or the time between the movies. The reason this game is number 1 on my list is it gets the nostalgia points. This is probably one of the earliest Star Wars games I was introduced to. It came out in 2001, so it is the oldest game on this list. I don't know if I played it at that time, but I was introduced to this game by my uncle, Vito, who also, I believe, is responsible for introducing me to Star Wars and getting me into Star Wars in the first place. And at the same time, this is when my older sister was still into video games. And so we had that connection there too, that this was probably one of the last games that we both really enjoyed playing. I've always been a Mac guy. This game did get a Mac release, but it's pretty much impossible to find. So I've been separated from this game for a long time. The reason that I'm comfortable putting this game at the top of this list is because a little under 2 weeks ago, I discovered a way to, I discovered that I can play this game on my Mac using a program called Parallels. In less than 2 weeks, I've put about 30 hours into this game, and I'm not slowing down. I absolutely love this game. It hits the nostalgia notes for me. It hits the puzzle and the tactical notes for me as well. It hits a Star Wars note for me, obviously, because it's in this video. I cannot recommend this game enough. It's like $3 on Steam, so definitely go ahead and check it out if you have a PC that's capable of running it, which you probably do. And that's all I have today. Guys, thank you so much for checking out this video. In the comment section, make sure you let me know your top 5 or more Star Wars games of all time. And until next time, thanks for watching.